I don't know what to tell you. This thing sounds really good. This is the Blackhole by Eventide, and they sent it over. Yes, this is a paid video to review this. No, they didn't tell me what to say or how to say it or what to advertise or anything like that. I got my little, list of notes here that I kind of wanted to mention before we kind of dive into this. This isn't going to be like a crazy deep scientific deep dive of how gravity affects the reverb tail and the pullback, infinite feed, all that craziness, because this pedal can get pretty deep, but I just love its simplicity at the same time with the knob per function that it has. Comes in at $279. Another quick thing I love about this is that the active button can actually be set to momentary or toggle, and what's great about that is if you set it to, let's say, momentary, so as you hold it down it'll just send reverb. When you let it go, you can also set it to, I think it's called DSP mode, which allows the tail to continue on even though active is off, or you can have it in that true analog style bypass where it's on or off. Another thing I love about this is that it has pre-delay on here for the reverb, which most reverb pedals do, but this one can actually be clocked to the tempo, either using it in tap tempo mode with like an expression pedal, or over USB, you can actually control a lot of the MIDI functions on here as well. And actually having USB on a guitar pedal like this is pretty handy because it can store up to 127, even though you only have access to 5. But you can kind of rearrange your library. And this is pretty similar to their Space pedal, which has the Blackhole engine on there. And I want to say that they are exactly the same when it comes to the algorithm, because Blackhole, our trademark or whatever, is made by Eventide. But I think the main differences between those two is size, the price. The Space pedal is $499, but the Space pedal also can hold up to 100 presets that you can actually access. And it's just really, I guess, bigger, has MIDI in, and has a couple other delay pedals. So if you need one delay pedal to do them all, maybe that one would be a good starter. But if you're just trying to find a solid, super good sounding reverb that has some flexibility and range, the Blackhole is a good option. Okay, with my bullet points out of the way, let's listen to some music. Check this track out. I was just making this, been procrastinating making this video because I was just messing around on this. So we will start with this. Actually, I'll do this too. So this is just a synth stab being sent to the Blackhole. I'm gonna send the clap there too. It's so much fun. I mean, that alone, I was just droning out to listening to that over and over and over again. But check this. If you hold down the freeze button, we can actually access some of the presets here. So we want to load this one. I really liked this one earlier because it was just easy to mess around with. Let me go ahead and mute everything again. Yeah. Nope. Get out of here, clap. So we can turn our feedback down. Let me hold this down as well to go back into freeze mode. Turn the size down. So the gravity of this is actually really cool. This is where things get really unique because it kind of has this like really, I mean, there's like weight to the tail being pulled down. So, right, if you start to open up the gravity, it just kind of lets the tail, at first it was tricking me into thinking it was the feedback. If we just listen to only the wet. That actually brings on another good point, that you can actually set this to a dry kill mode, so it'll only be the wet affected signal. So if you have this set up in like a patch bay or a send for your DAW or something like that, you never have to worry about where your mix knob is at. But the gravity on here to me is super unique because it almost tricks me into thinking it's the delay or the feedback of the reverb just kind of going on and on. But it's, if I move the size, again, we're only listening to fully wet right now. It just like, it literally sounds like gravity. It's just like softening up the reverb and how much it gets to kind of float around before it gets taken away. A lot of gravity. Or you go to negative gravity. So watch, if I turn the size up a little bit of feedback, past 12 o'clock, you'll hear it switch. Now we're in this reverse mode. I do kind of wish that it did some weird switchy flip-flop of the sound that's already within the buffer, but I can only imagine how much that would freak this thing out. So let me bring in a little bit of the dry. Wah. Okay. Let's see if I just bring this up a little bit. So I have it turned down a little bit because I was sending the sound to this a little hot, so it was actually coming in way too hot. But if I just go back here and just turn the gain up a little bit. Maybe send some more sounds to it. So the way I have this set up, actually, if you're not familiar with what the hell I'm doing on the Octatrack, every time I hit Q, it's going to send it out of the Q output and also mute it from the master. So then the sound gets sent out of there into here, but then the sound just comes straight back in into input A, and then I have track 8 set as a through input to A. If that literally made no sense to you, check this video out. This is where I explain exactly what I'm doing, because it's one of my favorite features of using the Octatrack as a mixer. So check this. Actually, let's just go ahead and mute this. Right, so I can just say I'm going to send these claps there and the up hats, even the bass. So what's cool with the bass is I actually have tuning here, so I don't have to get my bass too muddy. And if I hit this here, we'll switch over into these lighter gray modes. So we actually have depth and rate for the size. So watch, we'll turn feedback up. Here there's like this movement. Let's see if it'll happen if I freeze it. I guess it doesn't apply to the freeze. Oh, I just added so much pre-delay. So the pre-delay on this can actually go up to 2 seconds, which is way too long. Like, nobody needs that. So here. Oh, hold on. I have way too many things going on right now. Okay, listen to this pre-delay. So with the pre-delay, it could actually be, that's like comically long, 2 seconds. I mean, you could probably get creative with that somewhere, but that just cracks me up every time. So the pre-delay being, you can actually MIDI clock it and sync it to the tempo, which is great because I know most of my music is around 124 to 129-ish. 129 is kind of pushing it, but I love a pre-delay of 170 milliseconds because that's kind of on the up of where everything else is at. So like if I were to turn this to no pre-delay, and then we go back to here, actually let me not do so many things. So I'll just say, We'll just do the clap. So then gravity to full, size really small, no feedback. We'll turn some Q up. And then the pre-delay. Just adds like a little bit of texture in the back. So then if we take the gravity and kind of soften that up a little bit, maybe a little bit more size. And then we can shape this, of course. Oh, also let me turn this down. Oh, and then I turned the Q way up too. Actually, check this. We can go Q really high. Just kind of find these weird little resonance. I think the high starts at around 2000. Oops, wrong button. And again, without this, it's almost like an added second instrument. Let's see what this sounds like. I, of course, don't have it gain staged properly. But if we go to track, set that to volume. So 8 is my through track here. So then this track here, we'll turn our Q down a little bit. So the clap's not overpowering. Maybe turn it up a little bit. Oh, that's not mixer. And again, if we go into the amp here, let's we'll go ahead and copy this pattern to paste, amp, turn that down to nothing, nothing. Oh, right, I gotta play this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, right, and then this stupid thing always sets itself to, oh no, loop's not on. Okay, cool. Find a new pre-delay. So this is just a freeze. And I'm pretty sure all the way infinite, you can still play on top without adding to the buffer. And then freeze all the way, you're continuously adding to the buffer. And by the buffer, I mean just the frozen sample. Get a little dramatic with this. There's all these like the way the gravity works against the size and the input and the sound and the feedback, you start getting these other weird like rhythms. Like listen to this. If I move this a little bit or into the reverse zone, maybe some pre-delay to none. It's like fighting itself. Let's add some more stuff to it. We'll say that kind of adds some cool texture. Yeah, you hear that? Without this. Amateur hour. We've all been there. Yeah, that is dope. Some pre-delay, that pre-delay. Ooh, that bass line sucks. That bass line sucks, dude. Actually, I kind of like this. What does that sound like? You hear that? That sounds crazy. Wait. Get out of here. And you. That's the cue. Yeah. Dude. Oh, I don't want to, man. See, this is the problem. I film these videos, I stumble across something cool, and I'm afraid to touch it. I guess I could sample this, actually. Let me do that really quick. Time out. We'll just make a little record of 32 steps, loop off, quantize record, pattern length. Okay, cool, got it. I can use this later. Yo, that's tight. What else can I do to this sample? Actually, you know what? Okay, I need to focus. Hello, hi, how are you doing? So I also got a couple other samples on here that I kind of wanted to showcase with the Blackhole. They're on track 7 here. Let me make sure I don't have track 7 queued up way too loud. And if I go to, what do I have loaded up? Yeah, that'll work. And I don't hear anything because I don't. So these are just some samples that I have from like my live set. So without it, there's already a little bit of reverb on there. This is recorded off the MPC 4000. But then with this, that pre-delay is a little intense. And then the gravity up. So if you want to just plain simple reverb, I just love having a boost, not just a shelf to the EQ on the highs. It actually pushes this up. Get it really glassy. And this is like, if you hear that pop, it's just the sample. But listen to how big this room. And that's not even with the feedback all the way up. Or with the gravity kind of loosey-goosey. You loosen that up, bring this, get a little bit of depth in there, a little bit of a rate. Hear that movement? Beautiful. Let's play another one. Just the black hole? Just the sample. What? Let's do a little reverse action. This one I got off of Splice. Got a link down below in case you're interested in trying out Splice. I get a little kickback, but it's no extra cost to you. Actually, I think you get a discount. Try another one. Again, none of this. A little bit of reverb on there already. Spice it up. Let's try another one. Oh, this is just a cool ARP. That pre-delay. Listen to that. Without this. And then with it. If you hear any clipping, that's just me sending it a little too hot. Forgive me. Oh, that 2 second. Let's do it. And I just love how smooth it is to react to your movements. Minus the gravity when you switch from positive to negative. I don't even know if they just don't know the astronomical physics that would happen if that were to take place and there was reverb somehow thrown into a black hole. But everything else has this really smooth kind of slew and movement to itself. What happens if we freeze this? Yeah, that's pretty. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Yeah, that's the Blackhole. This thing's awesome. It's really good if you're just looking for a small, somewhat affordable reverb. Because I know pedals are kind of this like rabbit hole, similar to modular stuff where you get one, you want to try a bunch. I remember buying my first actual pedal that I was really interested in, which was the Pyramids, and after that I just kind of went to town. So Eventide, thank you so much for sending me this. I hope I get to keep it. I should really start asking that in the talks about me doing these videos, because I hope I don't have to send this one back. This one just sounds really good. And yeah, I mean, hopefully I covered that. There's a big slew of these videos already. If you're looking for a little bit more in-depth with guitar stuff, I just kind of wanted to play with some synthesizer stuff because that's where I'm at. You also got mono and stereo modes on the back. You can do the little cable to get some MIDI stuff going, or you got the USB that you can also do a lot of the MIDI controlling stuff too. And the parameters can actually be controlled via MIDI, so if you were to set up some of the MIDI tracks with the CCs on here, you could probably start doing some weird stuff with the parameter locking. Me personally, I just don't like the MIDI tracks of the Octatrack that much. Ooh, I know, hate me, it's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna just try and jam here for a little bit. You're more than welcome to kick it. If you want to support the channel, feel free, but you hanging out is more than enough. And until next week, I'll hope to see you then. You already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Whoops, knowledge is power. Peace. I actually wanted to mess around with this sample. This one, because I think I can chop. That pre-delay coming in way too late. Okay, I wanted to chop this one up, slice. Let's just do 32. If I did this correctly, I haven't used the OT in a minute. Dope. Then if I go back to here, slices. And then I see how it just kind of continues on after that. I want the amp to not be infinite just as I hold. Okay, cool. Copy that over. Let me practice a little bit. Okay, there's way too much of this going on. Pre-delay. Actually, let's turn the Q up. Ooh. Damn. Always go for the octaves. Top secret, since you made it this long, this distortion on the back side of the filter is really good. It sounds a little hectic right now, I know, trust me. And this is also like a salvaged bass note that I took from, again, my live set. pool party? I wish.